Hey everybody, thank you for joining me on this trip for this legislative session. Today is the last day of our 45-day legislative session for 2023. And it's been a whirlwind. There's been a lot of activity as we always have, and it's now coming to an end. At midnight tonight, by law, we have to be done. And whatever bills aren't heard at that time are dead, and if the sponsors like them, they can bring them back at the end of the year. One of the things I love about serving in the Utah State Legislature is that we are a 45-day legislature, which means that we're all citizen legislators. We don't do this full time, and there's a window in how much we can impact your life. And so I really appreciate that. It is hard for to balance the work life and the legislative life, but I'm grateful for those who support me. I want to give a shout out to my wife and my family real quick at the beginning of this, who are very instrumental in their support, and I'm very grateful for them. A couple things to make you aware of. Our three pillars this session were to safeguard natural resources, keep Utah affordable, and generational investment. Part of that include historic expenditures on education. So in addition to raising the WPU 6%, we also had generational investment in teacher pay, which is well-deserved for our teachers who spend their time with our kids. In fact, Utah was the only state that had a positive growth in math over the COVID years. And so our teachers are doing really well in partnership with our parents, and it's a great synergistic community that we have that leads to great outcomes. We are also going to have roughly a $500 million tax cut. There's a lot of discussion as where the tax cut went. The majority of it is going to be in an income tax break. There will also be targeted Social Security income tax breaks for anybody who's making $75,000 or less. The income tax will be removed. As well as the tax on food. That's going to be removed. There is going to be some restructuring that comes with that will come to you for you to be able to vote on and to decide what you want to do that way. There was a lot of discussions. I just want to address this really briefly as to whether we wanted to do property taxes, income tax, earned income tax credit. And there's a lot of negotiation that goes on within just the House itself and the 75 members who are there, as well as the Senate, the executive branch, and all of our residents as well too. And so that was where the majority of the body decided would give us the best bang for our buck. And so that's where we're going with our tax cuts. We are going to see a $2 billion increase in transportation. That's going to include some funding, unless things change in the last few minutes, for Santaquin and Payson. And we appreciate that. Just a couple of last second items. Some bills that I passed that I'm proud of. We worked on the municipal vacancy bill, which talks about what do we do when there's a vacancy on a municipal council when somebody leaves early, and how do we fix that replacement. And so we addressed some issues there. The library transparency bill will be voted on in the Senate later today. I fully expect that to pass. That just gives parents a portal to be able to see what their kids have checked out from schools. The opioid naloxone dispensing bill is one that I'm really excited about. As you know, over this last decade, we've had tremendous difficulties with prescription opioids being overused. And what this does is it makes sure that our high-risk patients have access to naloxone, which is an opioid antagonist in case there's an accidental overdose for those who are most at risk. School grading. I'm excited for this one. This is one education's wanted for a long time, and I think parents will like this as well too. We're removing the simple grade of an ABCD on schools, and instead we're going to give you a dashboard that tells you exactly how your school is doing in all the key areas that we're looking at: college readiness, growth, lowest 25% of students improvement, et cetera. So that will be a fantastic bill that I'm excited for. Some other bills that I had that got wrapped into other bills. Sometimes you have these really great ideas and other people have great ideas and they're higher up on the board, and so you move them together. So there's some language in a bill that talks about vaping and tobacco use in schools that will give the schools a little bit more teeth, while also being able to work on cessation strategies. School safety. We're putting SROs, school resource officers, in every school and looking to beef up the security and safety of our schools. Law enforcement. There's a bill that will pay students wanting to go into law enforcement. It'll give them scholarship money to go into law enforcement if they agree to stay in law enforcement for 5 years. So I'm excited for that one as well, because it will bring more people into the profession as well as increase the caliber of individual in the profession. A couple things to know right now. At this point in time, session ends tonight at midnight, like I said. And really right now is the time that we should start thinking about new ideas for the next legislative session and get working groups and make sure that we come up with bills that are written well, that are meaningful for positive impact in Utah. And so if you have any ideas, anything you want to discuss, make sure you reach out to me now. May is when I can open bill files. A lot of times people wait until the legislative session starts, and at that point in time, it's too late to get a bill through. So would love to work with you on that. Next session, golf and public water use, states' rights in regard to education, insurance damages, recycling transparency are all bills that I'm looking to tackle in the next session. Anyway, last, I just want to say it's been a pleasure to work with all of you. I really enjoyed having your local elected officials up here. They've been here. We've been able to work with Mayor Olson, Mayor Wright, several other city council members. Additionally, shout out to Christy Simons and Nilton Abbott from Salem and Elk Ridge. I appreciate them reaching out and working with me to make good legislation. So thank you. I appreciate you. I couldn't do this without you. Please feel free to continue to call, to reach out, to email. Thank you for everybody who's done that. And it's a true honor and a blessing to be able to serve you. And I thank you for this privilege. We'll see you later.